So welcome back to the channel. It's been a little bit of a while, but we're going to kick off with this review from EBMA. So here we are. So like I said, we're at the bench and I've picked this up from Andy at EBMA, and it's a AVF stand, really well boxed and very well produced as well. So we're just going to cut straight through. Okay, so let's have a little look in the box, shall we? And in the box, as you can see, there's a little bit there saying about the instructions, and the instructions are actually on the website. We'll come to that in a second. As you can see, this is all laser cut wood, which we're going to take it all out of the box, like so. Nice, keep hold of the packaging because they're always useful, those boxes. And we're going to put those bits all the way around. Those bits there, that's obviously the top. We'll come to that in a minute. This is our bottom, like so. So what we'll do is I'll show you exactly what I mean. So here you go. So this is the website, EBMA's website, and what we're going to do is we're going to go on to we're going to find the tool that we've purchased, which is this one here, and we should click on that one. And as you can see, it gives you a quick rundown of what it should look like, etc., etc. And then we should have documentation, which is this one here. That uploads to the computer, which explains everything you need to know about your product and how to put it together. So the construction's all really easily put out there. It explains exactly what to do, and like I say, use a little bit of wood glue, etc., and that'll be perfectly fine. So first things first, let's somewhere. So I'm going to use this particular product here. Done this with all my bits and pieces from EBMA and works really, really well. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to literally get the sides. Now, be careful with these because you've got two that are identical, like this, and one that's slightly different. It's got a male section to it. So we'll do the male bit first. I'm going to have a little bit of glue this side. Now, two reasons for this, doing it this way, is that obviously we're not going to get anything on our workspace underneath the wood because it's all going to be glued nicely like that. And any excess glue will be very easy to just get a cotton bud and run along the side. Like I say, it can get a little bit messy, so just have a little bit of extra tissue around, like so. And then we're going to repeat this on the same method on our sides. Oh, to open it up first, James. So yeah, EBMA are Andy's a really great guy. Any questions you've got about a bit of storage and stuff you want for your bench, he is the man to talk to. I actually have got some Hobby Zone product, drawers and all that sort of stuff all the way around my bench, which I'll show you in a minute or two. And we'll put it onto the video. And what we're going to do here, obviously, we're just going to get this excess glue. Excess glue. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And then what we're going to do is get this bit at the back, which is obviously going to go on here. So again, what we're going to do is put a little bit of glue on the wood so that when we get it all in line, just pop together very nicely. So we're going to start on the side there and marry this all up. Give us a nice bit of stability, like so. What we do is just go quickly round all the bits and pieces where we might have a little bit of excess glue. Oops. Without pushing it apart. Oh, he says, too late. Oh, silly boy. One in first, then there. Do our last bit there. We'll run this up like that. Okay. It's all nicely together. And then we're going to put our top on. Now, obviously, a little bit of wood glue going to go on here. Now, if you've got limited space, in theory, you could keep this so you haven't got it all glued together, etc. And you could flat pack it every time you finish using it. I wouldn't recommend that personally, although I am aware that people do that with the airplane stands and this sort of stand. It does work, but obviously you just got to be careful how you pull it about, etc., because you don't want to break it. Then what we'll do, like I say, we're going to pop this on here. Hopefully, once you get these top two lined up, the others should all fall into place fairly easily. Although I would suggest if you start at the bottom, you might find it a little easier. There you go, it's all popped into place. Bit of pressure on that. And then what you want to do, realistically, you want to just leave it to dry. Let the glue dry, and it'll do its thing. So these bits here are the bits that will go into here to hold your model in place, which all need to be glued individually. So I'm going to go away and do that, and then we'll come back and have another look at it later on. So here you go. As I said, I went away and made all these very simple things to do, put together and glue. These bits, however, you might need a little bit of a clean up as they come out of the way it's been cut, etc. No big deal. Just get a sanding stick, a little bit of sanding paper, a little bit of a rub. It's done. So as you can see, not a great deal of work. Let me just pop these into the holes. I've got several of these down here, and then obviously I've got my bigger ones already, 4 of those, and 4 of the small ones as well. So you might actually find that you don't want to make all of these up. Maybe make some up and leave the other as a spare. Who knows? But anyway, so this is the stand. This is the AVF stand from EBMA. I haven't got a tank to put on there, but I am working on this at the moment. And as you can see, that fits just perfectly on there. And that gives me the ability to do a bit of fine work, a bit of oil work, etc., with no hands. So it's a great little tool to have, a great little thing to keep hold of. Actually, as it happens, I just suddenly realised I do have a bit of armour. I think I'm going to need a couple of these, probably about 3, I guess. Maybe a bit more. Let's have a look. So this is the 135th elephant tank. Took me a little while, sorry. And obviously this is not going to be perfect. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put them there, I think. Put one there and one there, just to give you a rough idea. So there we go. Okay. no hands, can do a little bit of oil work, detail painting, etc., etc. Now, obviously, I've only got 2, so this is where the other 2 will come in handy when you've got a big object, etc. But if you've got a smaller object, obviously you don't need as many. So you'll need probably some drawers, and a great place to get them would be EBMA. So there we go. This is obviously we put it like that. That works quite nicely. I can do all the top detail in here, etc. And then if I'm really, really mad, which I sometimes am, what I can do is I can take this out. I'm going to put this one in there. I think you might know where I'm going with this now. There we go. I'm going to put my other vehicle there. So I could, in theory, have a go at this, do some bits and pieces, some weathering, whatever. And while that's drying, I could always bring in another subject down here that I can do a little bit of work on. Now, obviously, one thing I would say to you is if you are going to do that and you're going to multitask, plan ahead, because at some point you're going to need to stop and let them dry before you move on. But it's versatile. Do an awful lot of stuff with this particular piece. And obviously, because you can move these around, you can also go a bit mad and jiggle these 2 about, because obviously you only want that much. There you go, and I can now work on that maybe a bit better than I was before. Or I can turn it around this way, etc. One thing I would say, obviously, be very, very wary of the fact that your model is delicate, and this might not be that forgiving, moving stuff and resting stuff against the wood, etc. But it's a great little stand. It's a great little thing to have in your arsenal, definitely. And I'm so pleased I've got this. If you are somebody that does a bit of oil work and all that sort of stuff, this is going to really work well for you. If you want to do airbrushing, again, this will work quite well for you. What I would say is you might wish to cover this wood with something in which would give it a wipe down effect. It means you have to cut out all the holes and stuff, but a little bit of effort and imagination, you could do quite well with it. So, and that might be what I might do later with this. So that is the AVF stand from EBMA. If you want anything for your hobby desk, the best place to go would be EBMA at all the W's, www.ebmahobby.co.uk, and you'll have all your requirements you need there for your bench. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.